Morning, Megan. Oh,
Good morning. Hello, hello.
what'd you end up doing with that spider?
Oh my gosh, I know. Well, Bradford and I, we sat around for a little bit. We strategized. He was literally like chattering, do
Oh,
you
yeah.
have a cat? And he was very excited about it. So I like had him up on my shoulder, and and he was like kind of trying to get at it. All I could think is the spider's gonna fall in my hair.
Yeah.
And that spider was really big,
Yeah,
like really big. So I killed it
wow.
with a shoe, and it was a clean crunch.
That's satisfying.
It was so bad. Yep. And then I showed Bradford, I was like, you were falling down on your duties here. You are not, you're a house cat. Come on, right?
Did he take it very well?
It was all so exciting, So
Yeah. Well, for today, I'm like Matt in the room too, but Selena is not able to join us. She had a passing in her family. And she let me know yesterday. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Matt.
Bummer.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all today?
Doing great.
I'm having my coffee, so that's a good thing.
Same.
Mhm.
I brought a thermos in here, so I'm liable to drink.
That's awesome. No, I'm like 2 years into drinking mushroom coffee, just 1 cup in the morning, and that like doesn't do it,
No.
So it's literally like that, and then I go into like a double shot latte. So
Angie always kind of ribs me for it. I've drank like a pot of coffee a day for over 10 years probably, but I don't drink like energy drinks and things like that. So
good. Yeah, that stuff will mess you up. Where the coffee is like not as bad.
And I don't drink like cream or anything in it. I always drink it black. So it's like it's not that many calories and it's not a lot of sugar, so I'm fine.
We say skip the crap and drink it black.
That's right.
Yeah, it's good.
Angie,
that's funny.
Angie dumped half a thing of creamer in hers, so
that would be me.
I hear what was I gonna say? Oh, we're doing a hydration challenge at work right now. And I was reading what was appropriate for ounces of liquid that you could like submit per day. And coffee was on there.
Oh.
And sparkling water. And then it said like other beverages. And I'm like, does that mean like if I have a couple of glasses of wine that counts as hydration? Because we know that does not work.
Hey, there's water in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Angie likes obviously our whole like sweet tea, but we're from the South, so we put a lot of sugar in our sweet tea. So it's like I don't know if that really counts. I think the sugar is like outweighing the water in there.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I have 2 boys. I have a sophomore in college and a sophomore in high school. And it seems like that age group, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just their group of friends. They're all into sweet tea all of a sudden. So what do you recommend that you can buy here that's like pretty good for sweet tea?
So my son, also my 18-year-old loves sweet tea. He hates the gold leaf sweet tea in the bottle, but the pure leaf,
yes,
is good.
Okay.
The extra sweet, they add something besides just sugar, so it's like a little too sweet, almost like a diet sweet. I don't know what they're putting in there, but the regular sweet, he'll drink that. But when we make our sweet tea, we use the big bags from Fred Meyer, the iced tea bags, and then Angie literally puts 2 cups with love of sugar in a like I don't even know how big that is in a big pitcher.
Okay.
So you put the bag in hot water as you can get from the tap. Just let it sit and steep for 30 minutes. pull the bag, squeeze it really good, and then dump 2 big old cups of sugar and mix it, and then let that sit, and then they love it.
You said cups of love?
Cups with love. So
Cups with love. What is that?
Don't take a cup and rip the top off. No, take a cup with a little mound on the top and then dump that in. So
that's really great.
It is insane to me when I watch them make it. I don't drink it because it's so much sugar, but yeah, we go through so much sweet tea in my house.
Yeah. It's better than soda, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
What my mom used to do is she would keep water bottles after we drink the water bottles, and she would put sweet tea in them, and then she would freeze them. And then after she froze them, she would stick them in the fridge, and they would become like slushy sweet tea. You kind of drink on throughout the day.
Yeah,
and
that's fun.
Kids love that too. So
that is great.
A lot of work, but
yeah.
Which part of the South are you from?
So we grew up in a town of 1,000 people. It's about 30 miles east of Amarillo, Texas.
Wow, very different, Texas to Oregon.
Yeah. It's still small town though. So that was one of our main reasons for wanting to live like in Scappoose. I didn't want to shell shock my kids with a really big school after they had grown up in such a small one. And they've really thrived here and loved it. So it's been good.
It's great.
And we love it. The weather, gosh, everyone talks about how they hate the rain so much, and I love it.
Same.
I've been here 4 years, and I still just love the weather here.
Yeah, I'm like, the weather is what gets us all this beautiful greenery, so I'll definitely take it.
It's so much easier to grow grass here than it is back. Like I planted grass back home, and I fought tooth and nail to have grass. And here I like neglected it, and it still grew anyway. So.
Yeah.
I have a mentee that lives in Maryland, and so we had a meeting last night, and I was showing her my backyard, and then I went outside and walked down, and so she could see like the Columbia River and whatnot, and she was just like, we just don't have this, like, there's all these big is there bears everywhere? So I was like, oh yeah, they're everywhere, like there's bears. Like
so our best friends used to live across the street from us back home, and they have their oldest daughter is the same age as our youngest son, and then they have another little girl. And obviously when we go home, we visit family and then those guys. So they're actually going to come visit us this summer, and I'm so excited. Like we live up on the hill in Scappoose, so we have a great view, and I cannot wait for them to see it. I'm like, guys, y'all don't understand. Like till you get here and see it, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, the magnitude of it, right?
Yeah. Hey, Victoria.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I have folks in the waiting rooms, but before letting them in, I just want to double check with everybody. Do you guys feel good with the questions and the format? Perfect. Oh yeah. So then we're gonna start off with like a quick introduction of the. Sorry, I didn't give a chance, Megan, to say hi. Jason will jump in here soon too. But yeah, so we'll start off with like a quick introduction of like what is CET and the SBDC, and then Megan does her 5 minutes. You guys were in the last class, so you know basically the general format. And then I'll have a slide that goes up and shows like the panel, and it's you two today. Selena had a passing in the family, so we'll focus the questions and bounce back between you. I'll be moderating. I'm sure Jason or even Megan may have questions they'll throw in, and then once we're past those first 6 questions, we'll open up for open Q&A. So perfect. That's the game plan.
Get it going.
All right, I'm gonna let everybody in, and then I figured we'll start like a little bit after to give people a chance for coffee.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. We're gonna get started in about like 2-ish minutes. So if you want to make a run towards the coffee or the bathroom or tea, make your way that way. Miguel, I like your branded background. It's a nice touch. And then I'm going to spotlight our speakers today for the panel so that everyone will be able to see our speakers. So I'm going to do that now. Awesome. Thank you, Carolyn. All right, one more minute for everyone to make a chance to grab your coffee, and then we're going to kick off. All right. Okay, without further ado, let me make sure this is recording. Yay, good. So I'm gonna get our slides up today. We're really excited to host today's class. We've done panels before, but we don't I think it's been a while. And so we're excited to do this one today on the topic of local wisdom, proven ways to stand out in market. We here at the Columbia County SBDC, we've been going through a marketing series of classes with our Munch and Learn classes. So this is the third class, I think, in that marketing series. And we covered the basic social media marketing, the basics of marketing. And now we were like, you know what would be great? Let's get local business owners to share like what's actually worked for them. So we're excited to have today's panel. My name's Sierra Trass. I work for the Columbia Economic Team, and I'm the programs coordinator of the Columbia County Small Business Development Center. I'm also the director of Keep It Local Columbia County, and I have many hats. And so I'm going to give it over to Jason, who is the director of the Columbia County Small Business Development Center, to talk about what is the SBDC. So Jason, can you take it away?
Yeah, thanks, Sierra. Good morning, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces this morning. It's always great to have our repeat businesses take advantage of this free programming. But as Sierra said, my name is Jason Moon. I'm the director of the Columbia County Small Business Development Center. For those that don't know what we offer free one-on-one confidential business advising. So if you need any sort of advising and the assurance that your story isn't going to be leaked to anyone else, come see us. We work through business plans. We help you with your marketing plan strategies, access to capital, what it means to hire and manage a team, help you navigate regulatory processes, and all that good stuff. So, as well as being able to put on this free programming, I'm pretty sure it's probably in the next slide here. We couldn't do it without great partners, and we have an amazing partner in One Credit Union that's able to help us provide this content and these programs for free. So
perfect, Jason. Not quite the next slide, but our next slide is talking about the Columbia County Small Business Development Center. Let me admit a few people that are in the waiting room. Okay, perfect. So the Columbia County Small Business Development Center, it's part of the Columbia Economic Team's umbrella. And so what the Columbia Economic Team does is we promote the creation, retention, growth, and attraction of business and industry here in the county. And we have 4 different programs underneath the umbrella. So the SBDC is one of them, the Keep It Local Columbia County program, which promotes local commerce, the Grow Greater program, which is for growth-minded and startup businesses to be able to connect to different lending or programmings to help entrepreneurs. And then we also are the destination management organization of the county, and recently made a new brand, which you can see there. So that's a little bit about us. And now we're ready to talk about our amazing partnership with One Credit Union. So Megan, can you take it away?
Good morning. Yes. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Megan Fawcett, and I'm the AVP of Community Engagement for One Credit Union. I'm also a CET board member. And like Jason said, there are so many familiar faces in this room. I just was looking at who else joined in. And some folks that don't necessarily join our in-person meetings as well too. And I know that, you know, the topic that we are speaking of today is a popular one. And I just want to thank the SBDC for the partnership that we have here. It's really important for WANA Credit Union to engage with local business owners and entrepreneurs like yourself, because we want to really be able to provide products and services that truly fit your needs. And so, yes, thank you, because it gives us the opportunity for some feedback and to build some relationships. I am the connector to the subject matter experts within WANA Credit Union. So if you have questions about business checking, lending, anything that your local credit union could offer you, I'm your gal and would love to connect. Thank you.
Megan is amazing, and we really appreciate WANA's partnership. This class series is made possible by them, and when we do our in-person classes, we give free food, which is also made possible by WANA, so it's really fantastic. Something we like to do with these classes is go around the room quickly and just have people introduce themselves, and so I'm going to quickly turn off this screen sharing. Boop, boop, boop. Perfect. And so can we, if you're willing, could you unmute and share who you are, your business, and then if you have something that you're hoping to learn more about marketing and like to hear what our panel talk about, that would be great. Or if you are unable to unmute, then you could throw it in the chat. So perfect. I'm going to unspotlight all of us, and then maybe Bonnie, if you can kick it off.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I think I'm off. There we go. Okay, I blur the lines between fine art and illustration. I'm a local illustrator, and I make a lot of products that features our area. That's about it. Oh, and what am I looking to get out of this? Every single one of these presentations that you put on, I have learned something new. So I'm looking forward to learning yet another thing new.
Yeah. And your work is so beautiful. I love your art style. So thank you, Bonnie,
Thank you.
for being here. I think the next one I see is it says Rainier Chamber, but it's Mary. Mary, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. It's Mary from the Chamber, and I'm the new executive director. We just had our first board meeting on Tuesday, so you're going to see a lot of changes, and I'm going to be reaching out, doing a lot of what Megan does, a lot of outreach, and I see a lot of I call you my friends because you're my friends helping me just turn the ship around, and it's a big ship. So with that, thank you very much. And every day is a new day to learn something.
Thanks. We're happy to have you here, Mary. Vanessa.
Hi, it's nice to meet you all. I have a small farm where I grow medicinal herbs, and I'm hoping to turn those into varying products, teas, soaps, and all of that. So yeah, just hoping to get connected with some other folks trying to have a small venture in the area.
That's so cool. Well, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Miguel. Caught you when your hands are full.
Good morning, everybody. As you may know, my name is Miguel Paz. I am known as DJ Mr. 503 in the house. Hell yeah, I just want to become Columbia County's favorite DJ in the Columbia community. So I offer DJ service, karaoke, hosting, and again, just music for people to enjoy.
Yeah, yes, we definitely enjoy it. Thank you, Miguel. David.
David Elkins and Millie Elkins here. We have DM Eats and Sweets. So we do corn roasting, baked potatoes, cupcakes, and we also do doTERRA essential oils and natural healthcare products. So we're based out of Rainier. So just trying to get those businesses going, do some networking, things like that. And all of your classes are fabulous. So we love seeing your classes in person. And this first one for me in Zoom. So we're loving it so far. Thanks.
Yes, very accessible. Thanks for being here, David. I see Luno, I think is how you say it.
Hi, Randy with Deer Island Dock and Door. We're starting a commercial loading dock and door repair service, as well as doing residential garage doors. It's been a process. Still waiting on quotes for the general liability insurance, running into issues there because we're doing certified forklift and scissor lift training as well, and sounds like insurance companies don't want to insure on that. So, but I'm here to learn everything I can from all of you.
Thank you for sharing that, and we're very excited for your new business venture. Karen.
That's me. I am an area rep with International Student Exchange, and I live in Kalama, and I'm a very natural networker. I love, I'd like to see Port of Kalama incorporated with the Small Business Development Center. And I look for families to place host students in, but right now I'm trying to get to know the businesses in the community. And I would like to, hopefully this might tie into what we're going to talk about, but since visiting the Small Business Development Center resource fair, I found that super helpful, like with the people I met on Facebook. It's easier for me to interact with those businesses and recommend those people to the people in Kalama. I didn't even realize it, but I just scroll past anything that's suggested. But when I have a face and a business and I know their business and the family that runs it, I like welcome seeing that information on Facebook. And so thank you for having that event. A lot of connections being made for me and for other businesses. So.
Well, thank you for shouting that out. And yeah, no, that was very sweet. Let's see. Annie, I saw you put in the chat, but in case you want to unmute. I see you're unmuted, but we can't quite hear you. Okay, we'll move on. But Annie's amazing from Richardson's Furniture, a great family business. It's been around for a long time. I think what 4 generations, I think is what we're on now, which is amazing. Allie, yeah, I also think I saw a message in the chat, but would you want to introduce yourself? Awesome.
Oh, hey guys. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm here. I had to find my mute button. Good morning. I'm Allie Engelhardt. I am a local real estate agent in Columbia County. And I also am the fundraising and marketing coordinator for the food bank. So I am just here to listen this morning.
So we're happy to have you, Allie. Lori. Okay. I know some people are doing things behind the scenes. So Katie. Perfect. And then Caroline, I saw that there was a message, I think, said you're on your way commuting. Gail.
Hi, good morning. Gail with the Bushel and Peck Flower Farm in Deer Island, Oregon. And I'm hoping to interact with other people. I'm hoping to get a hold of Vanessa because looks like we're going somewhat in the same way. That'd be a good connection to make. And I do local floristry and farming. I sell to other florists, and I'm a LTIP member and a chamber member.
And you make beautiful flowers for us, so we appreciate that.
Thank you, Sierra.
Melinda.
Good morning. This is Melinda with My Northwest Event, your local event rental and planning company. I'm just going to be hanging out listening today. You will not see me on video because I had a tree beat me up this week, and so I have a black eye. So for all my friends, Miguel, I see you laughing. For all my friends out there, I appreciate you being here, and I hope to learn.
I'm so sorry. I hope the tree looks worse than you. So, Zach. Oh, I think just jumped out, and then Zara. If you'd like to introduce yourself and your business. Matt, battle scores. That's great. All right. Well, that is everybody introduced. So I'm going to spotlight our speakers back. And so also going to put Jason here in case he would like to add more commentary. And then let's see where Victoria. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to our panel. We have some great questions prepared, so we're going to begin with the questions that we have prepared for our speakers, and then we're going to open up to Q&A. Our panel today includes Matt Cobb and Victoria Teyema. They are wonderful. When we were trying to think of businesses locally that have a really stellar marketing strategy, these two definitely came up in our mind because they have great branding, great relationships. They go above and beyond. I don't want to take away all their thunder because I'm sure they're going to talk about how they got to where they are now. But to begin, Victoria and Matt, could you both give an introduction of yourself, your business, and what you offer so folks can be aware of what you do here? So kicking off with Victoria.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Victoria Teyema. My husband and I own Teyema's Touch. It's an exterior cleaning business. We specialize in interior and exterior window cleaning. As far as what we offer, we do window washing, pressure washing, gutter and roof cleaning, and Christmas lights hanging.
Yes, a lot of services. We love it. And then Matt.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Matt Cobb. I'm the co-owner, along with my business partner, James Lee, of TexCo Cleaning, Construction, and Restoration. We're a full-service flooring, upholstery, and air duct cleaner, while also being certified in water restoration, mold remediation, and we also do general contracting.
Some main services, love it. And then for folks that, if you saw with the marketing materials, we also had planned to have one more speaker, Selena from Columbia Bakehouse. She's a phenomenal business owner. She's recently opened a delicious bakery shop in Rainier. She's unable to join us today. She let me know yesterday there was a passing in the family. So just want to recognize that she was amazing, really excited to join today, but is unable to. So we feel her in spirit. And so our first question for you both is, what does marketing look like for your business and how did you create this strategy? Starting with Victoria.
Yeah, so we're kind of all over the place as far as our marketing. I would say people mainly see us on Facebook. We're involved with the chamber. We just recently joined the TIP. We have yard signs out. We're slowly building our Google My Business portfolio. And then as far as how we created our strategy, it kind of has to do with our target market. We get people that ask us all the time, if we're going to start on TikTok or Instagram, but when we really look at our primary clientele, they're not on TikTok and Instagram. So we go really hard on Facebook because that's primarily where our target market is.
Facebook is definitely one of the top platforms here in Columbia County. Matt, could you also answer that question of what marketing looks like for your business and how did you create that strategy?
Yeah, so we try to have like a multifaceted marketing plan, or like a combination of several different marketing avenues. I had written down things like Facebook, if you're doing like paid ads on Facebook or Google, even pay-per-click in some situations if we feel like we may be going into a slow season. SEO is kind of a long-term marketing strategy because you don't typically get immediate results from that, but in the long run, it can really, really help your online presence. Passive marketing, like just marketing material that we hand out when we go to events and things. And then referral-based marketing and community engagement. I think as far as Columbia County is concerned, those are probably the biggest and most, those ones produce the most for us here.
Perfect. And for those that, because we get this question in a few of our marketing classes, they ask us about like Facebook ads and different kinds of ads. Do you find in your experience that pays off?
Yeah, you kind of have to tweak it to your own business and see what's going to work best for you. We have found you can't really just throw money and boost your page and those types of things. That doesn't typically equate to customers always. Obviously you want to kind of grow your page a little bit, but if you do some focused ads, those do tend to bring in some customers that wouldn't have seen your page otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And so when you talk about focus ad, like a certain post that you are trying to do a service or product or something.
Correct. And we like to do that just because, kind of like Victoria was saying, like they kind of found their market, and you can really target those things, especially in somewhere like Columbia County.
Mhm. And I'll throw that bonus question towards you too, Victoria. Do you find success with ads?
Absolutely. If you really go into the nitty-gritty of the ads and choose like specific locations that you want it to market to, once you know your target audience, choosing like the age range that you're wanting to target, it really helps. So
Yeah. And for folks that are unaware of that, that's called geofencing. So it's really cool. With Meta, you can set the perimeters of where you want your ad to go. So it's not just going across the whole United States. It could go to just Scappoose or just Columbia County or across the river. And then even pick your age demographics, and you can even get down to nitty gritty, like make an ad for like a dog lover, mom at the age of 40 to 60, something like that. So, perfect. All right, our next question. Oftentimes businesses struggle to define their target audience and their market. How did you decide on your target audience? Starting with Matt.
Luckily for us in our, main industries, there have actually been quite a few studies done on what our typical target audience would be. So really, we just kind of had to research into that a little bit using Google, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a vital tool. It's basically like having a friend that can literally scan the entire internet in seconds. So, but also just kind of off of trial and error, we would make a boosted ad on Facebook, and then we would look in our analytics and say, well, okay, who's looking at this? Who's clicking on this? And kind of narrow that down even more so we could target a little bit better. That kind of helped point out what our typical base would be.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned ChatGPT. So what ways do you utilize AI to help you find your target audience?
A lot of ways. You can actually get really specific with ChatGPT. You can tell ChatGPT about your business. You can tell ChatGPT what you want your revenue to be, what your local geographic area looks like, and say, what's my typical target audience, or help me build a marketing template. And it really just spits out a lot of good information. And then you can, again, just keep narrowing it down. If it spits out something you don't like, you can say, okay, that looks good in this area, but I'd like to adjust this area, and it'll fix it again for you. So it's incredible. It's like I said, it's like having a buddy that knows the entire internet, like immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very impressive what it can do. And I love the new deep research tool that can get even more specific and dive in. Victoria, same question to you. Oftentimes businesses struggle to define their target audience and market. How did you decide on your target audience?
I'd say a lot of what Matt said is pretty much what I was going to say. We definitely do when we boost specific posts that get a lot of engagement, or we put an ad out there and we get 10 calls from it. We like to go back and look at our insights, which has really helped. And then just in general, looking at the insights of like the followers on our page and who's actively engaging and whatnot has helped. And then ultimately, I'd say it took probably 6 months to a year to get a good idea of like our recurring clients. And then something that we've noticed being in the line of work that we're in is, for the most part, getting your exterior of your house cleaned is a luxury. It's not a necessity. So I would say our target audience is people that want to take good care of their home, and they're looking for kind of that curb appeal. Maybe not necessarily renters or people that don't have the necessity to take care of the home.
Mm-hmm. I think you touch on a really important point that we see a lot, is that oftentimes people will say, well, anybody in Columbia County is my audience, but we all have our different kinds of preferences. Even use an example like food, a creme brulee is gonna, only certain people really like a creme brulee versus a cookie. And so I think it's important for folks to think about that, because not everyone is likely your audience. Do you also use AI at all for market research or anything else?
Not really. I'd say at this point, we have a lot of recurring business, so we're touching a little bit here and there how to continue to market in the slow season, but for the most part, we don't really need it.
That's great. Awesome. And then next question, which marketing tactics have worked best for you locally, and why do you think it's so effective, starting with Victoria?
All right. My biggest one is always Facebook. I say this a lot, and I feel like it clicks with some people and not with others, but Google is really hard to get your business to pop up in a small town. And that's primarily why we're on Facebook. You know, we have people all the time that are going on Facebook and asking for specific areas, because, you know, for us, we regularly service Scappoose to Rainier. So then somebody in Columbia City is not necessarily seeing us market specifically to Columbia City, even though we do from time to time, just because of the way that Google works. And there's so many companies that pay for, you know, them to be sponsored and at the top. So for us, Facebook has been life-changing. We tend to stay really consistent on Facebook. We're across several different groups, and then kind of just the referrals and stuff like that usually come from Facebook. So I'd say that's probably where 80% of our new leads come from, is Facebook.
Awesome.
And why I think it's so effective, kind of what I already mentioned. It can be really hard to pop up on Google sometimes. And then, you know, with us, we offer, 5 different services. So it can be really hard to, again, if somebody's, you know, looking for a Christmas lights hanger, the majority of our reviews might say window cleaning, so they don't necessarily know that we do. So Facebook has been really good for that.
Mhm. Awesome. That's a great insight into Facebook. Along with Facebook, oftentimes I get the question in our classes is community boards, is that worth it to be in part of those? Do you find success with the community boards of Facebook?
I would say yes and no. For us, we try to find the balance between not spamming the community boards, but also being frequent enough that, you know, people remember our business name, or, you know, remember us next time they're looking for roof cleaning. So it's kind of finding that balance, because people do get really irritated when you spam those groups every single day. And then there's, you know, the balance of, we have people say that they see us all the time on Facebook, and that's a good thing. But then there's also people that choose to not go with the businesses that are spamming Facebook every single day. I would say the community boards usually get us better results if somebody's asking for a referral and their friend personally refers us, versus us marketing to those groups.
That makes sense. Cool. Thank you for that. And then Matt, same question. What has worked best for you marketing locally, and why do you think it's so effective?
I would say referral-based marketing, which Facebook kind of falls into that, especially in the local groups, because you have people bringing up your name. So with referral-based marketing, the biggest part of that is kind of getting involved in your community with people and being seen, and then meeting as many people in your community as you can, so you can be trusted from those people and they can refer you. A lot of folks won't refer you just because they know your name. A lot of people will refer you because they've shook your hand and they have spoke with you, and they understand that you're a trustworthy person. You're not just going to come in and try to get money. That honestly, referral-based marketing has a higher conversion rate as far as closing on the customer than anything else. So if you're involved in the community, you meet people constantly at chamber events or what have you. They all know you personally, and they want to refer you when they hear something that you do brought up in conversation or brought up on Facebook. Then they automatically think of your name.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the ways that you've been able to build those referral networks? Are there organizations you're part of, or organic things that popped up?
Yeah, so we're a part of some networking groups similar to LaTip, and then we're also part of the chamber. We try to get involved in things in the community. We partner with other companies. Like last week, we partnered with Keller Williams and served hamburgers to the first responders in Columbia County, and you know, little things like that where you can just involve, not only help the community, but also meet people in the community that you wouldn't meet otherwise, and just get not only your name, but you as a person out there, so people know you and trust you, and they can refer you. People will refer you more if they know you.
Yeah, I quite agree. And especially in a rural community, I say that relationships is oftentimes the currency of our community, and how trust building is so important in rural towns. So, Victoria, I also think that you're amazing at your networking skills and being able to build relationships. Do you want to touch on that as well?
Yeah, Matt covered it really well once again, but this kind of goes into a topic I saved for last, which is staying true to your values. For Cody and I, that's kind of been life-changing as well, as far as like people getting to know us. We really care about, volunteering where we can, donating where we can, and just being involved as we can. And so, like Matt said, by us just going out and doing those things that are important to us and helping other local businesses, it's really helped get our name out there. There's been times too that there's businesses that we regularly support that maybe don't support us. But it's important to us that we kind of help them grow where we can, just kind of expecting nothing out of it. And over time, it's led to, them introducing us to other people that have been lifelong clients, or just opening the door to other opportunities that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So helping other businesses out as you can with no expectation of anything in return, it's been really helpful.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's felt when you come at it with a spirit of collaboration rather than trying to do transactional. So
yeah,
it's a great tip. Awesome. Okay, so next question. What kind of marketing efforts have you tried in the past that have just flopped? And would you try it again now? Starting with, let's go back to Matt.
Yeah. So we did direct mailers, which can be can have a really good return. Ours did not. And I don't know. I think if we honed it in a little bit better and picked some other areas, and then maybe stayed a little more consistent, kind of playing the long game with it, we might get a little better return on it. But it just, for us as a company, it just didn't pan out. It just was not a good good revenue source for us at all. But I would probably try it again in the future. Just being a little more maybe intentional, narrow it down a little bit better as far as the analytics of who we're sending it to and what neighborhoods and those types of things. And also maybe long term, I think it may pan out a little better than the short term.
Awesome. I have my dogs around too, and I'm surprised that they haven't made a noise yet. So fingers crossed. Victoria, same question. What marketing efforts have you tried in the past that have just flopped, and would you try it again now?
I would say the immediate one that comes to mind is Angie Leads. For us, it's just the two of us for now, and so we really try and stay in Columbia County. For one, this is where we live, shop, eat, it's nice to operate our business here. But it can be really hard to manage your schedule when you're getting leads from all over the place. A lead from Lake Oswego one day and then Rainier the next, and all over the place. It's really hard to be effective with your time when you're working all over the place. So I also feel like most of the leads that we got from that, you have to be really fast so that another business doesn't get on them before you. And for the most part, these people don't have any sort of personal connection with you like they do in a small town. So usually most of our leads, if people don't know us, then they know somebody that knows us. And so they have a little bit more respect. When it's a random stranger in Lake Oswego, they just want the work done as fast as possible and as cheap as possible. And so that kind of gets hard to operate. And I don't think we do that again.
Yeah, that's good to know. And I think you're touching on a really great underlying principle with marketing is to do what you can manage. And so not try to take on the whole world and every single platform. So it's a great lesson learned. And then the final piece or question of our prepared questions is, what is your number one piece of advice for marketing locally? Starting with Victoria.
I couldn't just choose one here. I had to choose three, but I'll keep them short. My top three were your branding, staying true to your values, and consistency with posting. For branding, I think it's just really important that you're staying really consistent with, your branding and how people are seeing you. A lot of people have grown to recognize the big T's. We try and stick to that Tiffany blue and royal blue color. So then people start recognizing around town when they're seeing your yard signs and your car magnets, and when you're at different events and you're giving away different apparel. The more consistent you are with your branding, the more people are going to recognize you. And that's something that I see room for improvement in town is, if people are choosing different logo colors and even on their flyers, one day using all pink and then one day all blue, it can get really hard to recognize that you're seeing the same business. So that's been really consistently good for us. And then staying true to your values, I kind of touched on that already. But something that we tend to reference is that our business offers professional quality with small town service. And so to us, this means that with our marketing, we want you to get to know us, to trust us, and to recommend us. And so it's important for us, when we're posting on Facebook or elsewhere, that we're not hiding behind super professional flyers where you never know what we look like, our interests, and who we are as people. We want you to get to know us and what's important to us and what we're involved in the community. Because again, kind of like Matt mentioned, the more people get to trust you, the more likely they are to refer you. And honestly, it's fun. We love to get to know our clients and see, where they're at in life when we saw them in 2024 versus now. And they're excited to hear about our life changes too. Cody's trying to sneak past the camera. So there's that. And then with consistency and posting, I could talk about this for forever, but some of the main topics is you want people to know all of the services that you offer if you offer a lot like us. So consistency with posting to us means that, during window cleaning season, we're mostly showing window cleaning right now, but time to time we are showing that we offer other services. And then during Christmas lights hanging season, we make sure that people know that we offer that, because a lot of people that hired us as a window cleaner didn't even think to ask about Christmas lights hanging. And so that's something that we'll mention even in the summer so that they have that in the back of their mind. Then also with consistency with posting, I said the more you communicate, the better, whether it be last minute emergencies, your upcoming vacation, that you're adding or stopping a service, that your hours have changed, stuff like that. You want people to think that you're reliable. And so if you have a last minute emergency and, for us, we're not necessarily a storefront, but this is just in general, I've seen this is another place that there could be room for improvement is if people are showing up to your business 3 days in a row and your doors are closed and there's no explanation on Google or Facebook or the door, it can be kind of hard for them to want to go back. And so for us, we've learned that the more we communicate, the better, because then people aren't upset if they can't reach us because they understand what's going on. So,
Those are all really great tips. And I love the points on brand consistency and just honestly, overall, just building trust is seems to be a theme underneath each of those things. Matt, same question. What is your number one piece of advice for marketing locally?
There's kind of layers, but it all ties into the same. I had written down just getting involved in the community, meeting people, building relationships, gaining trust. You said trust. I think that's honestly the biggest thing is gaining trust. If, like Victoria said, if I show up to a place 3 days in a row that's supposed to be open on those 3 days and they're not, I don't trust what they have, their signs or anything like that. But also doing good work and providing a quality product. Honestly, that's the main thing about it is if you're providing a quality service, providing a quality product, then and you're consistently doing that and getting your name out there, meeting people, then it will start to spread from more people's mouths than just your own. Instead of me touting, hey, this is the product we offer and it's good. It's other people saying, hey, this is the product they offer and it's good. So instead of me just being the one that's pushing us out there, we have a whole county. So building trust and meeting people, I think in a small rural community is probably key in my mind.
Perfect. I love the themes going on between you two. I think we're getting to some of the core principles of marketing. So we're going to open it up for questions. And so if it's easier for you to throw a question in the chat, feel free to do that, or you can unmute. The raise hand feature is also really handy for us so that we are able to call on you. So does anyone have a question that they would like to start off with?
I do, but I haven't found where to do it.
Yeah, we can hear you, Gail. You can just go.
Can you? Yeah, it's the old lady with the stupid
You're great.
computer skills lacking. So on the last thing that Matt said, and that really hit home for me because I feel like I am inconsistent because of my farm stand. My website, you know, I get probably more business out of town or out of state through my website, but it's my farm stand that I truly want to build to be able to retire down to just that and offer new products. What suggestions for the fact that it's seasonal? For the farm stand at this point, I need to put my own products in it. I do kind of lax on the holidays and put, you know, some store-bought posies in my bouquets and stuff because I don't have enough. But what do you do when it's a seasonal type business and you're trying to be consistent year round? I worry about bombarding people with Facebook ads on we're open today from this, we're closed now. Does anybody have any suggestions?
I know your question was directed at Matt, but I have a response if Matt doesn't.
Oh, well, I'll take any responses.
So regarding the farm stand, I personally love to shop farm stands, and that's where the consistency with posting comes into play. For example, one of my favorite farm stands has eggs from Friday to Sunday, and it's really hard for me to remember to go there because you don't see it when you're driving home. And the other day I had told myself to stop there and I completely forgot. And I was almost home. I made one more stop and then I saw her post about the eggs and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting eggs. So I turned around and got the eggs. And so with consistency with posting, you want people to have you in the back of their mind all the time. Because even if it's someone like me who wants to support you with the flower business, it's not something I'm constantly thinking about. And we have all these distractions coming in. And so you want people when they pick up their phone to think, oh, you know what? This is something I've been needing. I'm just going to get on it. So especially when it's a seasonal business, obviously finding the balance between not spamming people, but I think at least posting once a day is very reasonable.
Okay. I can try. My farming is lacking because I'm trying to do so much advertising. So that's a juggle at my age too, but
that's always something I can help you with.
Oh, bless your little heart. Thank you.
I agree with Victoria as well, like posting once a day, even just posting your hours. Like there's local companies that I've looked into that would say, hey, we're open this day, or like companies that were doing soft opens, like when we had the food carts. I didn't go to Google to figure out their hours or whatever. I went to Facebook and I Facebooked their business and said, okay, they are open today from this time to this time. And it didn't clog up my feed. I think the real annoyance is when people are getting in like the local, like the community boards and stuff, when it's just a constant stream of one business saying, we're open now, we're open now, we're open now. And if I'm curious about when your business is open, I'll come find your business on Facebook. I'm not going to search through a community board to find that. So I think posting on your own page, your hours or what you have or don't have for that particular day is totally fine. And I don't think anyone's going to like be annoyed with that.
Okay. One area I have a question for everybody. Has anybody tried or gotten very good results from posting on Concerned Citizens of Columbia County?
Again, like Matt said, it can be tricky because you get so many businesses that post there daily. And then even with our business, we tend to get more business from people referring us directly.
Okay.
So, maybe posting from time to time helps people see your business and kind of remember your business. But kind of like Matt mentioned, you want to work elsewhere to get people that support you so that when I see your post in my feed, because I'm already following you, I'll think about your business and then remember to go to your business.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. On the community boards too, oftentimes our advice is like when you have something really important to say, like something that's a little more unique and special, I'd put it in. But I wouldn't like every day be like, hey, we're selling flowers, hey, we're selling flowers, or whatever other service folks have. Make it a little more unique and special so it's news rather than just chitter chatter and people get annoyed by it.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, we have a couple questions in the chat here. So for Karen, it says, how do you choose promotional items? And how often do you do in-person events in the community? We'll start with you, Matt.
Constantly. We try not to burn ourselves out on doing so many things. But we do want to stay kind of a presence in the community and just be there for when people are like, oh yeah, you, like I was thinking of you, and then I see you here again, and it automatically brings to mind I have to have this thing done, or I would love for you to come over and look at this spot on my carpet or whatever. So especially in the summertime where so many events are happening, we try to do like 2 events a month, and that's setting up a table, having promotional items. As far as what we choose to put our name on as promotional items, that varies a ton. Honestly, I was just telling Victoria a couple weeks ago, our booth was sitting next to theirs, and we just have a plethora of things. We have stickers for the kids, and we have koozies for folks, and then we have pins and all these different things. And it's really, I think you just kind of go out on a limb. You're like, hey, I like this thing. It's cool. When I see it, I want one, So you order those, and then you see what people pick up. I bought the koozies because I thought that everyone wanted a koozie. When you go to those things, you just snatch one. We've literally had the same batch of koozies since I started the business. So a lot. And another thing is think about what type of things you're going to be doing. If we do anything associated with a school, we cannot promote on the koozies. We can't take those and give those to people at a school event. I didn't know that when I bought them, but obviously I think pins are huge. Everyone loves pins. If you get good pins instead of super generic ones, everyone's like, oh, this is a good pin, I'm keeping this. It's really trial and error. And I'm like, my next thing that we purchased are dog toys. We do a lot of cleaning up after pets. So I'm going to get a dog toy with our name on it because I feel like a good portion of our customer base are pet owners. So I'm hoping that'll be a hit, but maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm waiting on the Matt Cobb action figure still. So
it's in the works. We're tariffs,
Yeah, for folks that don't know, Matt had a really funny post where he used AI to make him look like an action figure in a toy box. That was pretty awesome. I would take a dog toy, so that's a really clever idea. Victoria, do you answer that one too?
For us, we honestly don't do a lot of tabling events, just because between the two of us, we're usually working a lot. And we've tried a couple tabling events in the past. I think ultimately the one that we got the most results was the Small Business Saturday Bazaar in November. We saw a lot of new faces. So as far as promotional items, I don't really have much to say there. But being involved in other community events too that you don't necessarily have to table at, like there's a lot of local businesses that are important to us. The Food Bank, Sandy School of Horsemanship, the Amani Center, CCMH. There's a lot of other businesses that you can, or events that you can participate in without tabling. So that's typically more so what we do.
Mm-hmm. That warms my heart that the Small Business Saturday Bazaar did well. So
we have a lot of questions in the chat, so I want to make sure that we get to all of them. Vanessa says, how long have you had your business, and how long into your business journey did you feel you found a stride in your marketing? We'll start with you, Victoria.
Okay, so Cody has been in business a lot longer than I have. In 2022, he was doing pressure washing on the side. So it wasn't really until the end of 2023 that the both of us came together and launched Teyema's Touch. And I already forgot the later half of that question.
When did you feel like
when you
Oh, I would say starting last year. It took a good full year of consistent marketing and not giving up. I was still at a full-time job, and marketing is my passion, and I was already doing similar things at my job. And so I was able to help Cody market and get business while still at my job. And then it wasn't until we were consistent enough that I was able to quit. And we're still trying to figure out what to do better in January and February. But for the most part, just the consistency with posting and getting our brand name out there, and just not giving up. Like after a year, we had enough repeat clients that it's been comfortable.
We started TexCo in October of 23. So we're actually coming up on 2 years. I had been in the industry for a really long time. I worked in management for a larger company, so I kind of had an idea on what we were going to be pushing on the marketing front. As far as like catching a stride and feeling comfortable in our marketing plan, ours changes with everything else. Everything changes. Google changes. Facebook changes. Things constantly change, so you're always constantly having to try to adjust it a little bit. You just keep tweaking it. Sometimes you'll do something 1 month and it works incredibly, and then you'll try it again 6 months later and it won't work. So you just kind of have to keep rolling with the punches and staying consistent. I think consistency is probably key on social media front, on the digital front. If it's like a physical medium, more than likely, I've always been told if you give out promotional products or do door hangers or whatever as a service business, you don't see results from that till almost 6 months later. So it's kind of, you're playing the long game on some of these things.
And just to add to that, I don't think you'll ever really feel comfortable. I think Matt would agree. It's just about being consistent and not giving up.
Love them. All right, more questions here in the chat. So this is from Caroline. My business is travel. I like to post specials, but I also worry about posting too often. What do you think would be a good amount of posting for a service like mine? One time a day, one time a week? And we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but yeah, I mean, what do you see consistency as far as posting on Facebook?
I think everybody has a different opinion on this. For me, I think if you're going to post once a day, at least give some variety to your posts. You know, there are people that post consistently the same looking thing every day, and that can be really hard for people to engage or, you know, stop on that post because they think they've already seen it. So that's what I would say.
I completely agree. Victoria, I don't really have anything to add to that. I think, you know, again, posting on your own page is one thing, and posting in community boards and those types of things is another. You know, if you're having some big blowout special or some sale or something, yeah, throw it on the community board, but leave it at that one. And then post on your personal page, you know, continued updates or what have you.
Mm-hmm. I'll throw on this one too. We had a marketing, social media marketing class, and we talked about the ideal cadence. And so I can send that out to a follow-up email if folks would like. Generally, we advise about 3 times a week would be a good cadence. But there is, if you really want to get into the strategy, there is a certain cadence for each platform.
Awesome. All right, Miguel asked, what is more valuable, Facebook reviews, or what kind of social media content or cross promotion would you recommend to help me get on the radar of both businesses and the community?
I went first last time. Matt, do you want to go?
I think that varies on where you're wanting your business to go. Are you wanting to stay in Columbia County, or are you wanting to expand to further markets? Like with TexCo, we've expanded into Washington County, even into Portland and those areas. So reviews and those types of things, Google is actually super important for us because We want to be known everywhere, we can be. But if you're really trying to hone in on Columbia County alone, I think Facebook reviews are important. And Facebook tags are super important when people are tagging you and people know you. Obviously, everyone in the chamber and the things that you're involved with, Miguel, like we all already know you. So we're tagging you here, when those things do pop up. But if you're trying to get into other markets and things, then you need to look at, okay, where are these other people going to see me outside of Columbia County or whatever? So I think that just depends on you and your business and what your goals are for your business.
And then if you're trying to stay in Columbia County, if it was me, I would go to every business, that you can regularly DJ at and see kind of how you can collab, with the agreement that they're helping on social media as well, promoting the event. Because really you're able to get your name out there even further, the more businesses that you work with and the more businesses that are helping get your name out there. Facebook reviews for us, we typically try and get just to build, that trusted brand. But as far as getting our name out there, the more you cross promote with other businesses, the further reach you'll get. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. There's a comment here. I think this plays into the earlier question. Megan Fawcett with WANA tables a lot of events. So she says, how many eyes are on your brand at events? How many swag items do you hand out? How many conversations do you have? Follow-up is key, even without a referral for business. Give value first. This is how I track success. So thank you for that, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
Then Karen says, what percentage of your budget do you estimate goes towards marketing? And how many hours do you devote to marketing each week? The budget question always comes up in advising sessions, but I want to hear what Matt and Victoria have to say about this.
Yeah,
I think it varies per industry. In my industry, in most studies, in order to have aggressive growth, you want to sit at about 15 to 18% of your revenue directly towards marketing budget or ad spend. I think that we usually sit at about between 10 and 15% of our revenue goes towards marketing, networking, events, those types of things. And hours a week, that varies a lot too. Bare minimum, I spend at least 5 hours a week doing something involved directly into marketing or networking. And then honestly, on an average week, it's probably closer to 10. If you add in like Angie, my wife does a lot of our social media stuff. So I can imagine she works at least hour and a half a day on something. So it adds up.
Yeah, it does. I would say that varies for us too. We typically try and do some sort of marketing, half an hour to an hour a day, even if it's just forecasting for the week or the month. And then on top of that, we're involved with the chamber and the tip, and we try and do a donation or fundraising event at least 2 times a month if our schedule will allow, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, anywhere in that 10 to 20 hours a week, depending on what's going on.
And I'd add to that the percentage question, because again, I get this question a lot. When you're a new business just starting out, you're putting a higher percentage towards marketing. And again, to Matt's point, it depends on the industry you're in, but you're anywhere from 10 to 20% in the beginning. When you're more established, that percentage could drop below 10%, but typically you're at least at 10%. So.
Perfect. So we have 2 minutes left. And so I'm going to make sure that we cover through the last part of our slide. And then if we have other questions and they want to stick around, we can cover that. But thank you, Victoria and Matt, so much for your wisdom and expertise. I had a lot of fun, honestly, doing this class and listening to your insights. I'm like, we need to do this more. This is great to hear from local business owners. So thank you both. We really appreciate you. We do these classes every month as part of our Munch and Learn series. And so our next class is another local panel on the topic of website and search engine optimization, SEO for short. And so I'll be doing like a short, like 10-minute introduction presentation about what are just key things that you should do for your website and SEO marketing. But then most of the class is going to be opened up to the panel, which we have Kimberly Preston, owner of Sweet Starling Co. in St. Helens. She has an amazing e-commerce business selling like attachments for tumblers. And then Cade Brown, co-owner of Lost Locals Media. He builds websites for folks and does a lot of marketing. And so we're excited for this panel to dive into what has worked for them and do our next class. And then in July, we're going to have a class on advanced social media marketing tips to piggyback off of our basic social media class we just did. And then August, we're doing a class on AI. July's class is already posted on Eventbrite along with this class. And then the AI class will be added here soon. So thank you all for joining us today. We're really happy that you're able to join and learn, and we hope that you had a takeaway. And I'll stick around a little bit afterwards if folks have more questions, and I can send out slides too for past classes and where to find those if you are interested. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Good to see you.
Hey, Matt, Victoria, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We appreciate you immensely. I think just, I don't know if anyone's going to be sticking around. If you have just 2 minutes, I'd like for you guys to talk about how you two as companies have collaborated, because I think that, Matt, you both touched on it earlier. I think that local collaboration is key, especially when you have complementary businesses like the two of you do. You want to talk about like just a couple minutes of what you guys did to collaborate in the past and recently?
Yeah. I'd say at just about every event, we tend to be tabling the same events, so we try and pass people along to their table as well. And then we did a cross promotion on social media a couple months ago just to help get the word out there for both businesses. That helped with, the amount of followers and people that know our businesses. And then other than that, they're just honestly, I feel like we're constantly referring people because we get asked all these, bizarre questions that are things that we don't advertise, like, will you clean my shower tiles, or will you clean the inside of my shop, and stuff that we don't have equipment for. So we're like, no, we won't, but we have a company that will.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think honestly, the biggest thing for us was when we met Cody and Victoria early on when we first started the business. It was like we got along really well, and you meet those people and you kind of keep meeting them and you realize like, oh, these are good people, and I like these people. And then you see the work that they do, and you're like, oh, they do good work, and they put in the hours, and they're really grinding, and they work all, tons of hours. They work on the weekends, and like, oh, they're kind of in the same bus that we are trying to climb and climb and climb. And then you start hearing people ask about those things that those people offer. You're like, you know what? I got a great guy for you. I know Cody. Cody does an incredible job. He's not going to let you down. You're my customer, and I trust sending Cody to you. So it's like, and then anytime we have a chance to collaborate or even just sit and talk, we catch them sometimes at, random places throughout town. We're like, hey, and we'll chat for a few minutes. And we've built that relationship between each other. And I mean, if they need something from us, social media, hey, can you share this or whatever? Absolutely. Anytime. So we have a good relationship with each other, and we have no qualms referring each other. So.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm hearing themes, we're trust, right? So the fact that you can trust somebody that you're collaborating with, that you're referring to, I think that's key. I've personally seen you in the community. I know Victoria's like, oh, we don't table a lot of events. Victoria, you've tabled every event that we've had. So,
In
So we're-
comparison to TexCo, I think we do like 1 in 5 of what they
Yeah.
do.
Cody? Yeah, so I see you in the community. I know you as people. I know you and Cody as neighbors and friends. And I think Sierra alluded to it earlier, you know, that currency and that relational currency. You guys do a really good job.
Thank you.
We appreciate you both. And I don't know if you have a time to stick around if there's other questions or you need to hop, but does anyone have questions that didn't get a chance to answer?
I have a question, Sierra. I missed the first half because my computer decided to do some sort of upgrade. Where's the link that I can go back and catch the first half of this?
This is being recorded. We're going to post it on YouTube. So great question, Mark.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
Sarah does a really good job following up. So everyone that registered will get a link to the YouTube.
Mary, I saw you had a question about tags and hashtags earlier.
Yeah, it's my standard question, and I know I can look it up, but just tell me when to use them and when not. You know, not to use them every time. I don't want to flood the market with it, but what's your advice on that?
I'll jump in. For me personally, I think it can be hard to, like, say you make a post and you have, you know, a paragraph of information. I think it can be hard to read easily what you're saying if, you know, some people will do, join us at the hashtag Village Inn, hashtag, you know. I think that's outdated. I think it's perfectly fine at the very end of your post if you want to add those hashtags. You know, we kind of talked about this in the last SBDC class, so Sierra could probably send that to you. But it's hard to tell what hashtags are actually doing these days. I still add them from time to time, like at the end of posts, or even if you create reels, because your For You page on Facebook is going to start catering to videos that you're watching. So for us, if we're creating reels and we're adding, you know, exterior cleaning business, window cleaning, keep it local CC, Teyema's Touch, and they're regularly watching those videos and they're interested in those, then our videos will start popping up on their feed because based off of the similar hashtags. So that can kind of help, but hashtags are slowly becoming outdated. And then tagging businesses is just super important when you're talking about another business so that they can directly click on that and go look at their page.
So today we have the Amani Walk, you know, our NAMI Walk coming up this Saturday. So I reposted what CCMH and NAMI did, and I did an NAMI Walks just to send it to them. Is that appropriate?
I would say so.
Yeah. So I took theirs from their page and I shared it to our page, and then I used the you know, please join us. And then I did the NAMI Walks. So then,
and then it's a link that you can directly click on to see that information.
Right. You can look at it, maybe.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm doing the right thing. I have to tell you, this is a resource center for me, and I appreciate all of you because you're members, but you're also community leaders and you have great ideas. And I think it's really important to share. So hopefully the chamber is going to help and bring some of these teaching classes in for free at our location. So you are my role model. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to answer Annie's question here in the chat. She said, I was wondering about resources for learning about how to use technology for the older generation.
Yes.
Matt mentioned ChatGPT or even how to create reels, etc. at 51. I get super overwhelmed by the technology. Well, first of all, Annie, 51, you are young. You're not,
Yes,
even halfway
is.
there, girl. So, but you can connect with the SBDC. We have some resources for you. There's a lot of learning platforms, especially right now around AI. And I know that it can feel overwhelming. I mean, even for me, who is excited about where AI is going, there's so many tools out there. So, you know, my my philosophy is you just bite off little pieces. So you can take a little LinkedIn course or Canva course around ChatGPT or AI, and then move on to the next thing. But I don't know, Matt, Victoria, how did you guys dive into using AI tools? And
I think the coolest thing about like ChatGPT and AI is that you can use those things to teach yourself about them. So you can literally download ChatGPT, create an account, and then literally ask it any question you want. And what I usually do is, like, if I'm curious about something, instead of Googling something, I'll go to ChatGPT and say, "Hey, can you explain this to me like I'm 10 years old?" And then ChatGPT will literally give you an explanation like they're talking to fifth graders, which is great for me, especially. So I'm like, "Hey, I want to know about anything World War II. Can you explain the entirety of World War II to me like I'm in fifth grade?" And it will, and it spits out everything. Or, "Can you make a graph with this? Can you give me a marketing plan? Can you strategically place a marketing plan? What should my marketing budget be? Give me some options based off of this amount of revenue." And it literally will do it all. And then you can ask it questions about itself. Like, what would you do, or what would, say, the entirety of Columbia County, Oregon, based off of your information, do for this situation? So there's so many possibilities, and it will start to kind of learn you. You could name it. Mine's named Arlo. He picked that name. I don't know why. But Angie's Chat GPT, my wife, has her own name. I don't remember what hers is named, but you can use it to learn more about it. And I think that's great, because I do it while I'm laying in bed.
And I'll say too, our July class and our August class are going to have a hands-on lab. So the advanced social media marketing class, we're going to have about half an hour to an hour. That's going to be hands-on, dedicated to working through your social media. And then our AI class is going to have the same thing. So that might be also a great opportunity for you, Annie.
If I can jump in on this conversation, the resource for the small business that we did, and I helped with the tip table, because I was helping with that, I could only take Chrissy's class on Canva, which was important to me because I did all my own branding myself and created my logos, etc. And then I upgraded to the pro, and I went, I don't even know where to find things. But backing it up more, I'm going to be 69 in November. My problem is, but what I was going to say real quick, I videoed her entire class. So I got back home and there was an ad that came up that I made because I could refer back to that, and it gave me enough info that I could mess around in there, and I went, there it is. I just recreated it, and I could do that Mother's Day thing from it. My question is there any resources to where I can ask questions, or just the basics? You have no idea where you weren't raised taking computer courses. I was thrown into it in the medical field, and medical software and general is opposites. But just to be able to sit there and either film a presentation or watch somebody do something, and how do you link this? How do you link that? Maybe a cheat sheet for some of us old farts on what's the logo? What does this mean? What does that mean? How do you do this shortcut? How do I get there? That would be invaluable for older people.
That's a great.
And I don't know if you younger people have time to indulge us, but that would be a gift.
Yeah, I think that that's a great idea, Gail. And I think we can look into see if there's a way that we can do that, or partner with libraries, or encourage those kind of things.
Great, thanks.
I'm hearing more Canva classes.
Yeah. I love that Matt is leveraging AI to leverage AI. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
That's about as meta as you get. Yeah.
Sometimes we go deep down the rabbit hole. Fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. I was trying to last night understand the county's land use laws and like different kind of permitting, and so I asked with deep research for it to read the county's plan and like fully understand like what different properties can or can't do, because we're right now hoping to buy a home, and it was able to answer all my questions, and I was like, man, that would have taken hours for me to understand. So thank you.
My
That's
kids
a
use
good
it for
idea.
all kinds of stuff. You can like summarize so much. I mean, it's the possibilities are truly endless. There's so many things that it can do.
All right.
You guys see anything else? So I think we're good to go.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Matt, again.
Of course, y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You
Thanks,
too.
guys.
Bye.